witchlings and princelings, and welcome to your weekly coven summoning. My name is Ulsa.
And my name is Stacy.
And we're
Caffeine and Conjuring, a fantasy bookish podcast where we will discuss some of our favorite fantasy reads.
Before we get into the episode, please make sure you read all of the first book of Throne of Glass so nothing gets spoiled for you, and also, please refrain from posting spoilers in our social media comments so everyone has a fun reading experience.
I can't believe that we're at the last quarter of this book already.
I know. It's crazy.
Like, this month just flew by.
Oh, so good.
So we ended the last episode. Celaena went face to face with the Ritterak. She got back to her room. She's badly injured, but she did kill the Ritterak. Nehemia was there. We seen like the glowy things on her arms. It was just many questions. So this chapter 43, Celaena, she jolts awake and she's surprised to find that her hand that was injured by the Ritterak is like completely healed. There is still some scarring, but it's not a wound anymore. And so the first thing that she questions is like, what day is it? How long have I been out? But Nehemia's just like, it's been like 3 hours. So we know that there is some sort of like magical healing there, because there's no way that that injury would have healed in 3 hours without some sort of magical.
Nothing like going for a little cat nap and waking up feeling like you're in a different dimension. Like,
yeah.
What day is it? What time is it? I'm going to be late for the bus. I'm 33. I don't go to school.
Exactly. So I'm really confused about what's going on with Nehemia. Like, obviously, she knows a lot more than what she's let on. That's clear. I mean, that's very obvious. But I wonder why she didn't say anything to Celaena about it before now. That's my biggest...
Everyone has their secrets.
Yes, it goes back to that. So Nehemia is understandably upset with Celaena for sneaking off into the tunnels. She demands to know what happened, but Celaena, she's hesitant to actually like reveal the truth about Cain and the Ritterak, but she does come clean about her true identity as Celaena Sardothian. Nehemia she's shocked to learn that Celaena is Ardalin's assassin and that she was imprisoned in Dovir. Like, she's pretty shocked.
But it all started to click, like, that's why you can speak Elway. That's why,
yes.
Like, you know all of this.
Mm-hmm. She does feel a bit betrayed that Celaena didn't confide in her before, but Celaena then explains that she was ordered by the king to keep her identity a secret. But, like, girl, everybody has their secrets. Like, you were literally the one to say that. So Celaena then also opens up about her inner turmoil and her conflicted feelings about potentially working for the king. She's clearly struggling with the idea of killing for the man who destroyed her homeland and enslaved her people. Yeah, like, there's a lot of... She knows that it's her only chance at freedom, but it's obvious in this chapter when she's talking to Nehemia that, like, she's still dealing with a lot of the emotional side of it all. Nehemia comforts Celaena and assures her that she's a true friend. Like, this part was so cute. She even gives Celaena a new name, Elentiya, which means spirit that could not be broken. It's such a beautiful moment, and it shows the depth of their friendship and Nehemia's unwavering support for Celaena. It was just so sweet.
And the meaning of that name is so fitting for her.
Yeah.
For what she's already been through and what's yet to come.
Dun, dun, dun. So the next morning, Celaena and Chaol head to training, and Celaena is unusually quiet. She's still processing everything that happened the night before, and she decides against telling Chaol about Cain and the Ritterak, because then she would have to tell him everything about the secret passage and the escape route. She's unsure if she can trust him with that, which I think is fair. I don't think Chaol at this point would react well to that.
Yeah, he's still good little soldier boy at heart.
And he's only just starting to, like, trust Celaena. You know, like, I think that would be enough to... I just don't think he would do well with that knowledge. So Kale notices Celaena's distraction and asks if she's had a fight with Dorian. He also asks if she enjoyed dancing with him at the ball, and she notes that his words were a bit sharp. She says, kind of like the sting of jealousy, maybe?
Just a little bit.
No jealousy. That hasn't been an ongoing theme in every freaking chapter. But the chapter then ends with Celaena and Kale encountering the king in the hallway. This can't be good.
So, chapter 44, Celaena is immediately unsettled being in the king's presence. She's worried that he might catch on to her extracurricular activities in the castle's tunnels and might have her executed or sent back to Endovier. But she's noticing something about the king today. There's something a little dark, like maybe something connected to the word marks.
Maybe.
Or the evil lurking in the castle. Kale notices how unnerved Celaena is by the chat with the king and has this little thought of like wanting to comfort her and putting his arm around her back for support. But he is caught up in his worry about the king's trip to the White Fang Mountains.
Yeah, this was an interesting little
glimpse. The king just got back from his trip alone. All of his guards were apparently murdered in the mountains. The same mountains that Cain hails from. Interesting.
I didn't put that together.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's going on in the mountains?
I feel like I've heard White Fang Mountains, like, more than just reading this book. Like, I feel like I might have heard something about that before, just enough that it sounds familiar. So I don't know if it might have been in, like, an audio, like a sound on, like, TikTok or something. I don't know, but I feel like that's familiar to me.
We'll come back to that.
Okay.
So after the chat with the king, and once they make it back to their respectful chambers, Kale is lost in his thoughts about Celaena. He admires her strength and skill, but he's also wary of her past as an assassin. Oh, Kale. That little, that's always there. It's like, but she kills people. Yep. The killing.
He can't get past that.
You know what she does. You know what her job has always been. You know what her job is going to be if she wins. Stop trying to want her to change.
Yeah. I think it's more so he knows he's growing these feelings for her, and he keeps trying to stop himself by feeling these by saying, but she kills people. Stop it, Kale.
So while he's having these thoughts, he's also wondering what's going to happen with the competition. He's wondering if it's safe to let her loose in the world again if she wins. And he's definitely, like you said, very conflicted about his feelings. He cares about her, but he's also like a little bit afraid of her, or just very disapproving of her life choices.
Yeah, and like what will happen after, like, if she is just let loose again, her freedom, like, what happens after those 4 years? Is she just gonna go back to being a ruthless assassin again? Like, I can see those questions being a bit conflicting.
Yeah. For a short chapter, it packed a good punch. You got a lot into the minds of the characters, and we are kind of getting more questions than answers, though. Like, a lot more questions are coming up in this last quarter of the book. And it's getting your mind going. Theories are all over the place.
Yep. And, like, there's only this much left to the book. There's still a lot of questions. That's not much time for many answers. And then chapter 45. Celaena is training with the other champions, but she's very clearly on edge. And Nox is the one to notice it this time. He notices that she's distracted, and then he asks if she's okay. He also points out the bite marks on her hand, and Celaena realizes that he's starting to put the pieces together about the champion's murders. She warns him to be careful, but she doesn't reveal the full truth about Cain and the Ritterak. Although Nox is persistent. Like, he kept trying to piece things together. He would not just take her warning at face value at first. He does eventually ask enough questions and pesters enough that he does eventually figure out who Celaena is.
I love how they describe the moment he, like, figures it out, too. It's
Yes.
just, like, you can see it, like, you can see his face change when he puts two and two together.
Yep, and it's just, like, leading up to it, his gears are just turning and turning. Like,
he's just like, holy shit. Holy shit.
I think he's a little starstruck.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, he can't believe that she's risking her life in this competition when she could be free if she just left the castle. So that's when Celaena explains, says, like, she has no choice. It's this or back to the salt mines. And, but we already know that Nox, there's no real big repercussions if he leaves. Yeah. I think we learned that way back. So she's urging him to just leave. It's not worth it. Leave.
You're not gonna win. Don't get yourself killed. Just get out.
Yeah. So he is understandably freaked out, but he ultimately decides to trust Celaena and takes her advice, and he leaves the castle that night. He sneaks off. I wonder when he's gonna come back into it. I like Nox.
I do too.
Yeah. And then we get another look into Caltaine, and surprise, surprise, guess who's getting high again? She is having some really disturbing visions. This chapter, she passes by, is it Cain that she passes by in the hallway? And she sees all this going on around him, like all these like shadows and darkness, and she's just like, oh fuck, I overdid it.
I am tripping the fuck out.
Yep, and like she hears the flapping of wings around Cain, and it don't sound so good. Then that night, Celaena and Dorian play chess. Celaena is still trying to process her feelings for Dorian, and she's worried about what will happen if he discovers the truth about Cain and the Ritterak. She does not want him to know what's going on in the tunnels. She doesn't want him anywhere near it.
I made a little highlight from that conversation.
Do tell.
Just after that conversation, it was just a little something that stood out, talking about, like, Cain must have learned about the word marks in the White Fang Mountains, that cursed borderland between Ardalan and the Western Waste. They said that evil still crept out of the ruins of the Witch Kingdom, and that old women with iron teeth still wandered the lonely roads in the mountain passes.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'd like to meet some of these witches.
Yeah. Is this a highlight because you know future somethings?
It's just a highlight. Just something that I found interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds important.
So I'm curious. I don't think I've talked about this on here before, but we've played D&D. I've had multiple characters, different names for different things, but I've definitely gotten my names from Sarah J. Maas's books.
Yes. I've noticed that.
So I can't wait until you start, like, piecing together who's who.
Yeah, because I know, like, the names, but I have no clue who they are as a character. No clue.
For anyone... unless you looked at my character sheet, I don't think you would have seen the last names of my characters.
No, I don't think so.
Which is fine, because we don't need to go through that right now. But for anyone who's read these books already, I had two characters, one that I'm still currently playing, and one that I killed off to play this character. So the first character I played was Aelin, a rogue, and the second character that I'm currently playing is Manon, who is a warlock. So just keep that in there for future.
Okay. I will remember that.
And when I say, like, my characters are loosely based on these characters in the books. Like, I tried to make them as similar as possible within the character creation of D&D.
Yeah. I wish I was creative enough to do that and played a character from...
I wish I was creative enough to make up my own character. I picked characters from the book so I didn't have to come up with one myself.
I just love the idea of being able to play as a character in the books that we love. I think that's so cool.
It's like my character in Palia. What's her name? Iris Winnow from
Divine Rivals.
Divine Rivals, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't make up a character name to save my life.
I have had the same character name for, like, online things since 2005 when I started WoW. Cadence. That has been my online name for
my gamer tag is my name on everything. Like, and my name is such an uncommon name, I don't even need to put a number after it. It's literally just Ilsa Fewer. That is it. Like, on my Xbox controller, that is my gamer tag on the controller, because every account, every social media, everything, that has how you find me. That is my name.
Interesting.
And if the name is gone, it's because I made an account previously and I forgot the password, so I had to make a new one.
So I don't have to ask you what your usernames are anymore when we play new games. I'll just initially look for that and good to go.
Well, that got really off topic.
Oh, what odds. So, where were we? She doesn't want Dorian to know about Cain and the Riderack. Dorian senses that Celaena is fearful and he tries to, like, comfort her, but she avoids his questions and just, like, whoo, kiss. Like, she just throws herself at him.
Woo!
Yeah. Pretty passionate as Throne of Glass is going to give us. But, so she effectively shuts him up. She's still holding back, though. She's trying not to get too close to him. That's very obvious.
Yeah.
And then the chapter ends with Celaena having a nightmare about being chased by a demon. And I am undecided if it's a nightmare or if it's, like, a memory. So it felt very realistic. It felt like she was reliving something. And I don't think it was just being chased by the Riderack. Like, that didn't feel the same. Maybe it was supposed to be that. I don't know, but that's not what I got from it.
Fair.
She is relieved that she made it through the night because, I mean, she was afraid that Cain was gonna come after her for sure after that. And a few hours later, she receives notice that the test has been canceled because Nox is gone. So now it's just the 4 left, and it's straight to the duels. So it's just her, Grave, Renault, and Cain. They're going to duel tomorrow. This is it.
It's here.
Oh, I was just my belly hurt. There was so much anxiety and nerves. I had to take a break. I was like, I can't quite go into this chapter just yet. I'm not mentally prepared yet.
Oh my god, how did you take a break? The first time I read this, I was just like immediately just like
I was
going
afraid.
through it just
I was afraid.
So that brings us to 46, which is another short chapter. So Dorian needed to get out of the castle and clear his head, so he went out for a hunt, but he can't stop thinking about our girl. He's thinking about the kiss, thinking about the things he'd like to do for her, and to her.
Oh, he's so sweet.
And is left wondering if she feels the same. He says, she haunted his thoughts, made him wish to do grand and wonderful things in her name, made him want to be a man who deserved to wear a crown.
Oh.
Swoon.
What a guy.
Yeah. While he's having these thoughts as well, the upcoming duel is nagging at him. He's worried about Cain, if Celaena will be able to pull it off. And all of a sudden, he detects movement. When he looks, a stag is about 10 feet away, feeding on bark. So he draws his arrow, but he puts it back down. He's too lost in his head, thinking about our girl and the duel.
I thought that was something worth noting, too, that he sees a stag.
So while all this is happening, Celaena is preparing for the duel in her own way. She's reflecting on her past and her motivations. She's come a long way from the scared, desperate girl who was dragged out of Endovier. She's stronger, she's more confident, and she has her friends now. She has a little group that she cares about. But she's also kind of facing some conflicting feelings about what's the honorable thing to do here. To fall in the duel and then return to Endovier? Or would it be more honorable to die than become the king's champion? She's very worried about who he'll have her kill. Because under Arabin, she got to choose her jobs. So, no children, no one from Terrasen, but the king could literally make her kill anyone.
Yeah. Oh, and then chapter 47, it's the day of the final duel, and the tension is thick. And why not? Let's start with Kaltain's perspective. This threw me off, because I was just like, why the fuck do I want to read about Kaltain right now? Bring me to the duel. So she's freezing cold. She's outside in her red cloak. Red cloak. There we go. And so she's ready. She's thinking about what she has to do, because we learned previously that Parrington wants her to poison Celaena. So with some sleight of hand, she does as she was told. She pours the poison in Celaena's goblet. So after that, we switch back to Celaena's point of view, and she's trying to stay warm, and she's trying to focus. She is as well freezing cold. They really make note that it's cold here. And she's just like, why can't we do this inside?
Yeah. They really tried to hammer that point home in this chapter.
Yes. Yes. She's worried about facing Cain, obviously. She knows he's using dark magic to boost his strength. But she's also got Kale and Nehemia in her corner, which gives her a much-needed confidence boost. I really liked when it switched over to show Nehemia when she comes out and she's dressed. She's got her staff. Like, I mean, this was a big moment.
I love that part. And yes. Kale was just like, I'll take my sword back.
Oh, I'm not even at that part yet.
Sorry, jumping ahead.
This was just when, like she comes out into, and Nehemia sees her, like, across the way.
Yeah.
And it's just very emotional. You know, she got her friends with her.
Oh, God. That's bringing me back to Crescent City again.
I know!
I got my friends with me, and I'm not afraid.
I posted that off topic. Somebody posted a picture of themselves in the Sarah J. Maas group of them crying, saying, guess what chapter I just read? So first thing I said was, oh, I'm not afraid, my friends are with me. And there was like 115 people liked it. So like for the last 3 days, everybody keeps liking it, bringing me back to that. I'm just like, I do not want all these reminders of this awful part.
Sarah, you'll be receiving our bill for the therapy we need from your writing. Paid in full, please.
Yeah. Oh. But somebody had commented on that and said something along the lines of, like they thought that it was from Throne of Glass. Because they said something about the 13. And I was like, I don't think I should know anything about this yet.
So... Definitely not. Cut.
It was nothing like super big spoiler. Like they didn't say anything. Just said like basically the 13. And I was just like, what? So
you don't know anything about the 13, right?
No, nothing at all.
Okay.
Just that they thought that what I said. Okay. Trust me. Like, I am not.
Oh, that's so horrible. Because, like, I can't even, like, explain why it's horrible without, like, pre-fucking up what's going to get fucked up for you.
Oh, jeez. Okay, let's wait until we get closer to it. Oh. Where am I to? Okay. So, it's the first duel is between Cain and Renault, and it is brutal and quick. It was like 3 minutes. He Cain easily defeats Renault. I mean, this is obviously showcasing his enhanced strength and ruthlessness. And Celaena is feeling a little nervous, but Kale gives her some helpful advice and reminds her to stay focused. He keeps pointing out that, like, his right side is his weakness. He's not guarding his right side, so he keeps trying to say, like, Celaena, like, that's what you have to go for. And just before Selena's duel with Grave, Kale offers her his own sword to use. And this was, oh my god, like, you know by the writing that this was such an important thing that Kale was doing. Like, he was about to give a piece of himself. Like, that's what it felt like.
And if you're a Kale girly at all, you're just, like, kicking your feet while reading it. Just like, oh my god.
I was. And I wanted to slap Nehemia. Because she shows up after she's just like, oh, wait. And then she offers Celaena her staff instead, which, okay, fair. It was very symbolic. She wants Celaena to fight with the Eelway weapon, symbolizing her connection and the oppressed people of Eelway, and her potential to fight for their freedom. So that was obviously a big, like, slap in the face to the king, using that weapon. And I'm proud of Celaena for picking Nehemia's weapon to fight with. She was kind of iffy on it because she was like, oh, it's a staff versus a sword. Like, the sword would probably help me better. But she's just like, nope, let's go for it. Let's take the staff and go for it.
Fuck the patriarchy.
Yep, it's such a powerful moment. I loved this part of the chapter. It was just, it was just perfect.
Yeah.
And then the chapter ends with Celaena facing Grave in the duel. She's ready to fight for her freedom and for the future of Eelway. And she says, the last line was, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into, little man.
Yeah. Oh, her sass, and like, already, like, I'm just thinking of a line in the next chapter that I have highlighted here, because, like, oh, she is just chef's kiss with the sass. It's so good.
I just love her so much.
So, chapter 48. This chapter, holy moly. So, Celaena, her first fight's with Grave, and she absolutely destroys him in 2 minutes. She beats Cain's time, and right before she takes him down, she says,
oh, yeah.
My name is Celaena Sardothian, she whispered, but it makes no difference if my name's Celaena or Lillian or bitch, because I'd still beat you no matter what you call me.
I love how, like, these last few chapters has just been her coming clean of who she is. Just everybody. Whoever she can talk to. She's saying, oh yeah, I'm Celaena.
Yeah. And then she takes her handkerchief, pulls it from her pocket, and drops it on his chest. You can keep that. And then just walks away.
Oh. Yeah. She's such a badass. I called it right from the very first chapter. My very first note was, she is such a badass.
So, with all of this happening, the king is just pissed. And he grumbles out, wine for the winners. So, out comes Caltaine with her goblet of wine as a blessing for Celaena.
The way that she says that.
The whole speech.
Like, spiel. Ugh.
But we know what's going on. So, now we have the Cain fight. The main event of the evening.
And she drank the fucking wine.
She drank the wine. She really should have upped her poisons practice after that test.
Yeah, because my first thought was, why the hell does she not, like, smell or notice that there's poison in this wine? But it's because it's the stuff that is, like, undetectable. Ugh.
So, the duel begins, and Celaena is struggling to fight Cain.
This was hard to read. This is really hard.
Yeah, the bloodbane's making her weaker, slower, she's disoriented, and Kane is stronger than ever thanks to the power he's stolen from the dead champions.
Mm-hmm.
He is taunting Celaena with cruel comments about her past. He reveals that he knows about the traumatic death of her parents and who she really is, and that just sends Celaena into a rage. She's so weak, but that just set her off. Like, she's had it. So Kale's watching in horror as Kane is just throwing Celaena around like a rag doll, basically. Yeah. He wants to help, but he knows that interfering would only make things worse. And same with Dorian. He's watching, and he is horrified and filled with so much despair and anger and just wants to call off the fight. But he knows that if he does that, they're going to name Kane the winner. Yeah. So he holds back. He's like, I had to wait. Her two boys are just basically watching her get pummeled to death.
Yeah.
All I could picture when I was reading that was the scene from Avengers where it's Hulk and Loki. Is it Loki that he did it to? They're up in like the Iron Man tower and Hulk is like calls him a bully or something. He's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So at this point, Celaena's on the verge of losing the duel, and Kale's on the sidelines encouraging her to get up and keep fighting. And his words
Was this a part where he was like reaching his hands toward the line and she was reaching hers towards the line?
I think so.
Oh.
And he's like, just get up, Celaena. Just get up. Get up.
I'm gonna cry again.
So she manages to stand despite her injuries. But just as she's about to make a comeback, the bloodbane takes full effect, and the hallucinations start. She's seeing demons and other flying creatures, and she's basically seeing through the veil.
Mm-hmm.
So Kane takes advantage of Celaena's weakened state, and just goes in full attack mode, ripping off her amulet in the process. So the Eye of Elena falls to the ground, and Celaena is left defenseless against the onslaught of demons, and everything goes black.
She sees all of these demons like coming towards her. It's just like an army of just intense, crazy. What the fuck is she gonna do? Then we switch to Dorian's perspective in chapter 49. He's watching in wide-eyed terror as Celaena is thrashing on the ground. She is just like, she's trying to get these demons off of her, but they can't see the demons. Only Celaena can. So she is just like all sorts of thrashing around the ground. Kane has stood there smiling at her, and it seems like he can see what is happening to Celaena, but again, like, Dorian does not. Like, he's just seeing this unfold in such a weird way. And then he notices someone step up beside him, and it's Nehemia. She says something in Eelway, walks to the very edge of the ring, and then he notices, like, amongst her tunic, that she's, like, rapidly moving her fingers, and they're tracing symbols in the air.
What could those be?
What are you doing? Yeah. So now we switch back to Celaena, and she's desperate to find a way to survive this. She's not sure what can help her right now. She's kind of feeling like this is it. She starts screaming, and it's not just like a normal, like a battle cry. This is more like a plea for help. Like it's just gut-wrenching. And after this, all of a sudden she starts noticing these doors popping up. Like there's all sorts of these doors just popping up everywhere. And then Elena just descends.
Hello.
Just this burst of golden light in this like dark demon-filled veil void. And yeah, like she just bursts through with all this golden light everywhere and just starts fighting off all the demons. And it was just, this was so well written. I felt like I just felt like I was reading like a movie, you know, like but Elena does say that like she can't fully protect Celaena. She does manage to heal Celaena from the poison, so she's no longer poisoned. She's still hurting. Like, she basically got ran over by a transport truck. Like, that's the equivalent. But she touches her brow. And if anybody listened to the other episodes where I had mentioned previously about her brow,
you were so hyper-focused on the brow, and it was funny because,
It
like,
was-
I couldn't remember anything about, like, that being super important.
it
So I'm
is
just like-
not. It's just, it was such a weird thing. Like, who comes up to somebody and, like, stares at their brow if there's nothing there? There's something. Mark my words.
Maybe she just hasn't plucked in a while.
So, she even helps Celaena retrieve the broken staff, because throughout all this fight, her staff is splintered. Yeah. Elena was just such a badass in this part. I want her to stay. Kane is not happy about Elena's interference. It seems both him and Celaena are the only ones to see her. Elena holds him back by blasting him with a bright blue light from her hands after she's forming the symbols with her fingers, like Nehemia. And Celaena finally starts to regain her senses, so Elena's parting words to her is stand. And she says that twice. She says, stand. That's all she says. Stand. And then she just disappears as the world reappears and Celaena's senses are back. She's struggling, but she got this.
Oh. Things are getting intense. So chapter 50. The poison's gone. She is ready.
Mm-hmm.
She's in excruciating pain, but she's ready to take this brute down.
Yep.
She is fighting back with renewed ferocity, and Kate is just, like, shocked with her speed and agility all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
She manages to injure him and eventually knocks him on the ground, pinning him with the broken staff. It's like, yes, yes. And in that moment, she's really considering just killing him then and there to keep him from revealing her secrets and the truth about the word marks. But in the end, she ultimately spares his life and instead looks to the king for judgment. And the king just kind of grumbles and is like, my son's champion is the victor. Clearly pissed.
Yeah.
But she's won the competition and she's earned her freedom in 4 years.
Supposedly. We'll see. A lot can happen in 4 years.
Yeah. And the victory is very short-lived because Nehemia suddenly collapses and Celaena realizes that something is very terribly wrong. She tries to reach for her friend, but her own injuries are just overwhelming and she falls to the ground. Our little princeling rushes to her side and he's just dying on the inside. Like, he's so concerned for her and he regrets not stopping the fight. He's calling himself an idiot. And she's like, oh.
Yeah.
So, as Celaena is laying there, injured, basically on the brink of death at this point,
Yeah.
Dorian is starting to question who would have poisoned her. He looks to Caltate and Parrington, and with taking his eyes off Celaena for a moment, he misses Kane raising his dagger in an attempt to kill Celaena. But before Kane can strike, our favorite guard jumps in front of Celaena and kills Kane with one swipe of his sword.
Oh. Oh. That part just, got me.
It's shocking, it's heroic, but it's gonna have some serious consequences. Not only about the king, like, punishing Kale, but just, like, Kale's own self-punishment. Because he is so against killing.
Also, going back an episode, when I had questioned what would happen if Celaena killed Kane, would she get the powers from Kane? I'm wondering if anything is going to happen to Kale now for killing Kane. If there's going to be any, like, lasting effects, other than, like, his, his own guilt over it. But I'm curious if there's going to be anything, because, Kane was... Anyways, that's just my ramblings. Carry on.
Ooh, no comment. So yeah, Kale is absolutely in shock that he killed someone, regardless if it's the right thing. He's shaken up. He has to get escorted into the castle. And Celaena is just laying there saying, he shouldn't have killed him. He shouldn't have killed him. Now he what, girl? He what? Meanwhile, Caltaine is furious that her plan to poison Celaena failed. She confronts Parrington, but he betrays her and makes a whole scene that she poisoned Celaena and motions for the guards to come take her. This part was so good. It's like, as much as I want to see Parrington go down too, just like the thought of actually visually seeing Caltaine's face while this is happening, it just felt so good.
I almost felt a little bad for her. That, I mean, I know she's a shit character, I know that, but it's just the fact that, like, he just totally, let the bus just drive right over her, like, but I said that from this, like, the get-go, I, like, that he was obviously using her as much as she was using him.
Yeah.
If not more. So, I'm keeping that in mind, too.
Yeah. The guards are just dragging her away, she's screaming that he set her up, but it seems to land on deaf ears. And as she's hauled away, she screams, "I'll kill you!" So it seems like her ambition has finally led to her downfall.
Wow, wow. Poor baby. What did you think was going to happen? Chapter 51, Dorian is facing off against his father. Things are getting pretty intense between them. They're having this conversation. He's standing up for Kale and Celaena, even though it means risking the king's wrath. Dorian I feel like he's really growing. He's becoming more assertive, and it's kind of awesome to see that.
Like, he actually has something to care about now. Like, he didn't care about anyone before. Like,
no.
His
He's
brother's
not rolling
a piece
over.
of shit, his dad's a piece of shit, his mom's a lunatic. Like,
yeah.
He had no one. Like, him and Kale were friends since they were kids, but they weren't, like as adults, they weren't, like, buddy close. They're just acquaintances at this point.
Yeah. And now he has a reason to fight.
Yeah.
Fight his father. And of course the king is being a total jackass. He obviously doesn't care about Celaena or Kale, and he's only interested in using them for his own gain. But then Dorian makes a bit of a mistake. He sort of, like, lets slip a little that, like, he reveals his feelings for Celaena, and the king picks up on that right away. He's just like, no, you stop. That ain't happening. But, yeah, so Dorian is afraid that his father is going to use Celaena as leverage to control him. Which, yeah, fair. That's definitely what's going to happen here. But despite the setback, Dorian does manage to convince his father to drop Parrington's plan to use Nehemia as a hostage. I thought that was a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably won't, but we'll see. It is a small victory. But it does show that Dorian is starting to have some influence over his father. So we'll see how that goes. Then we switch back to Celaena's point of view, and she's just recovering from her injuries. Nehemia comes to visit, so we finally see that Nehemia is okay. She reveals that she was the one who saved her during the duel using her magic. She also explains that she's been secretly fighting against the creatures that Cain summoned, and protecting Celaena from them. She is a total badass. And, I mean, I knew it right from the start. And I know I say that a lot, but I felt like I've predicted a few things so far. But when she was like, oh my god, Nemia and the word marks, she's totally the one doing all this. And I'm just like, no. She's protecting us.
This part, like, that whole conversation cracked me up. Because she's like, I'm the one that put the word marks under your bed for protection.
Yes.
And the amount of times I had to redo them because you kept washing them away.
Yeah, I was just like, just tell her. You could have just told her. You would have saved it all.
Yeah.
But, oh well. She does admit that she's been spying on the king, that's her purpose there, that she's spying on the king, and she's working to protect Eelway from his tyranny. So she is a true rebel, and I mean, her courage and her dedication to it is very admirable. And then the chapter ends with Celaena and Nehemia affirming their friendship. Nehemia returns Elena's amulet to Celaena, which hopefully means she'll sleep a little better. But she gives her, I think it was this chapter where she gives her the kiss on the head.
Yeah.
It was just such a sweet little moment between them. Celaena needed that, I think.
So chapter 52, it's the next day, and Celaena wakes up to Dorian knocking on her door. This chapter is so sweet. Dorian and Celaena share a nice little tender moment lying together on the bed and comforting each other. And Dorian confesses that he knew Celaena would win the competition from the moment he met her, saying, "No matter how frivolous and twisted that competition was, I'm grateful it brought you into my life. As long as I live, I'll always be thankful for that."
Oh.
And then, of course, you had to crush a good moment, and the scene shifts to the king in Parrington.
Ugh.
And they're discussing Celaena and their plans for her. The king is suspicious about Celaena's relationship with Dorian and Nehemia, and he's very intrigued by the word mark on her forehead.
Da-da.
He reveals that he does know about word marks. He's not sure what hers means, but he is going to find out.
Yeah.
And he also asked Parrington if he was using power on Caltaine. He said, and Parrington responded saying that he relaxed it recently because she was starting to look a little noticeably affected. She looked drained, she was pale, she was complaining about headaches. He also... He also discusses the power of the rings and their potential to control and influence people. So they've tested it on Cain in terms of actual, like, brute strength and...
Physically
do, like, just basically being a beast, size and strength-wise. And then using it on Caltaine to make her do their bidding, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there was a physical and then like a mental aspect to the rings. And they were testing both of them on the two.
And then they talk about testing both of them together on people in the coming future. And then they talk about making an offer to Caltaine after she spends some time in the dungeons, saying that there'll be more use for her yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they even say that like this will brush over, like,
yeah, people will forget about it.
Yeah, they'll release Caltaine with this offer that she can't refuse.
Yeah. The chapter ends with the king telling Duke Parrington to prepare, as they'll soon have much to do in Aurelia, and to stop pushing his plan to use Nehemia as a hostage, because it's drawing far too much attention.
So not that they're going to stop that plan of using Nehemia as a hostage, just to stop pushing it because it's beginning to be too noticeable.
Yes.
So I don't think that the king is actually going to listen to Dorian. Chapter 53 starts with Celaena in her room a week after the duel. She's still recovering both physically and mentally, but she is doing better. She's able to like get up, move around, walk. She's just still noticeably can't run and stuff like that. But Chaol shows up, and this is the first time seeing him since he killed Cain. The moment between them is very charged. Like, they don't really know how to act around one another. And Celaena is, like, trying to thank him for everything he's done for her, for saving her life so many times. And he's just like, you know, I'm doing what I had to do. Like, he does not want to accept her thanks. She tries to say, like, how she remembers the first time she killed somebody, and she said, like, it's hard, like, basically trying to open that door to say, like, you don't have to go through all these emotions alone. But Chaol says that, like, but that's the issue, it was easy. So, like, oh no.
Yeah.
But, so she's still trying to, like, thank him, and he's just like, I have to go. And he tries to leave abruptly, like, he's just, no, I can't do this anymore. But she grabs his hand and whirls him to face her. And she throws herself at him. And it's like this close, crushing hug. Like, it's just...
big old bear hug.
Oh, and he, like, gives into it. And he finally, like, rests his head on her, like, on her head. And it was just... oh, it made me so emotional. And then she says that she couldn't tell where he ended and she began. So it was this all-consuming hug. And then Dorian picks this lovely moment to show up. Is everything all right? Dorian's voice sounded from the doorway. Kale pulled away from her so fast that she nearly stumbled back. She's like, for fuck's sakes, Dorian, go home. But so Kale just takes off. I think he's feeling a little like, oh no. Feeling like he was caught red-handed, you know? But Dorian does bring good news that the contract is ready for Celaena to sign. She'll officially be the King's champion tomorrow. So after this little bit of good news, Celaena has some other news to break to Dorian. She basically tells him that the relationship can't go anywhere now, with being his father's champion, and she is clearly very excited about her friendship after the 4 years of serving the king. She's never been free before. And she wants to grab this, like, both hands and just run. She's ready to feel that independence, and she doesn't want anything to hold her back. I felt so bad for Dorian in this chapter. I really did.
My poor little princeling.
I understood what Celaena was saying. What future would they have here? Like, with her being his father's minion.
They can have whatever future they're willing to push to make. Okay? It could have been perfect.
And then he's like, we can keep it a secret. And she's just like, no, I have enough secrets. I don't want any more secrets. And I felt, I don't know, I understood it. And I mean, Dorian was understanding as well. He was clearly heartbroken, but he was just like, okay. And she's like, but we can still be friends, right? And he was like, what did he say? Always? Or I'll always be your friend? Yeah. That was a bit of a hard chapter to read.
Chapter 54. Guess who's back? Back again. Kale is back. And he's more surprised about that than we are. He's still very much struggling with the fact that he killed Cain, even though it was well deserved. He hasn't even touched his sword in the week since the duel, but he's on a hunt for Dorian, so he can let him know the moments with Celaena wasn't what it seemed.
Sure. You keep telling yourself that.
And Celaena informs Kale that she ended things with the princeling, and we get some inner dialogue from Kale. He's thankful that she came to her senses and ended the situationship with Dorian.
Situationship.
Before it became known and she'd end up being punished. Celaena's acting a little flirty in her little nightgown and asks if the captain wants to stay and celebrate with her, and he quickly proceeds to pull out a chair and she gives him a drink as she toasts to 4 years till freedom, and then he toasts to her, thinking that 4 years might not be enough time with her. And then another night, another dream. Celaena is in the tombs again. Elena reveals that she fought in the wars at Gavin's side, and telling her that's how they fell in love. Oh. Yeah, it was a little sweet little thing in the dream. Like, there wasn't much to it, but she just does let her in on that little bit of information, because Celaena's like, I didn't know you were a warrior. And she's like, well, you don't know much about the past, and a lot's been rewritten about me, and this is who I am.
So is this one of the, like, dreams that's not really a dream? Like...
Yeah, like...
Yeah. Like that first encounter with Elena.
Yeah.
Where
like
she...
coming to her in the dream, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's actually happening, but she's unconscious for it.
Yeah.
Elena's talking to her in her unconscious or in a tranced mind.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, and now chapter 55, Celaena, is finally facing the king in his council chamber to officially become his champion. Can I also point out something? And I wouldn't have noticed it until I read that comment from that person about the 13. I'm probably not going to be able to get it up, but that number seems to be, like, is it special? Because she notes that, if I can get back to it, just one sec. A greenish fire burned in the mouth-like fireplace, and 13 men sat at a long table, each staring at her. 13. There's that number again.
Huh.
So the atmosphere is very tense, and the king makes it clear that he holds all the power. He reminds Celaena of the deal, 4 years of service in exchange for freedom. But he throws in a bit of a terrifying twist. If she fails a mission or she tries to escape, if she's not back when she's supposed to be back, he's gonna kill Chaol, Nehemia, and her family. Like, he clearly...
Let's be real, if it meant hurting Celaena, he would kill Dorian in a heartbeat.
I think so, too. Yeah.
He does make a comment like, oh, with the right, like, push, he could be a good warrior. But, like, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that he would kill Dorian to get back at her.
Yeah, because at one point he even mentions about putting Dorian, like, in the front lines. Like,
yeah,
he wants Dorian out there, make a warrior out of him. That'll smarten him up. But yeah, so despite the threat from the king, Celaena sees this as her only chance for freedom. And I mean, it is. Was this or back to the salt mines if she wasn't going to survive. She signs a contract and she officially becomes the king's champion. Leaving the chamber, she feels the weight of her decision, but also a sense of relief. Chaol congratulates her and they share a moment of lightheartedness. It was so, like, just a little, he's just like, so, king's champion. The book ends with Chaol. Huh?
No, I was gonna say it's funny because, like, at this point now that she's a champion, Chaol is like, hey, like, you're part of the castle fam now. You're the champion. Yeah. But, like, she's an assassin for the king.
Yeah.
Why is he happy about that?
Fair.
This is what irks me about Chaol, okay? Yeah. And I know I've mentioned this before. You like Celaena, you don't like that she's an assassin. You like that she is a champion, but the champion also means she's an assassin.
Yeah.
You like her until you remember what she does and who she is. He's like, I like you, but I don't like you for this, this, and this. Yeah. It's like, my guy, you either like her or you don't, the way she is.
Yeah.
Like, Dorian likes everything about her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fun side, the sad side, the assassin side. Like, he is just...
Yeah. I'm wondering if he has, like, some, like, a little bit of rose-colored glasses on when it comes to her. Like, I feel like he is a little, like, really swept up in her that he doesn't really get all the sides of her. At least Chaol, I don't know. To me, I find Chaol understands and is rightfully, not scared, but, like, nervous about this side of her. But Dorian is just like, nope, blind eyes to it.
I want to make a comment here, but it's, like, kind of spoilery, but not spoilery. Okay, I'll just say it. At the end of the series, my opinion about what I just said about Dorian doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
He likes her for every part of her.
Yeah. Well, right now, he seems very, like, he's got his blinders on and he, you know, he's just smitten with her. But Chaol shows that level of, I don't know, like, I can't put my finger on it. Like, he knows that she is somebody to be feared. Like, she is, like, respected, yes. But there's also, she's got this level to her that you need to be.
But Dorian knows that. He just doesn't care. Like, he thinks it's awesome. Like, she's this badass chick who he has a good connection with. And
it could be entirely my,
You have Chaol-colored glasses on.
Yes, right? So, like, that could very well be it, and I just never picked up on that from Dorian. Like, to me, Dorian was just very much I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. I mean, I know obviously it's going to change. I know it's going to change, but that's just where I'm standing right now, is I'm still Chaol girly. But yeah, so literally the book ends with Kale asking if she would like to know what her first mission is. And she just says, no, tell me tomorrow. She does not want any part of it right now. She is going back to relax, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it for the first book.
Yeah, she is now bound to a ruthless king, and her freedom, as well as the lives of her friends, all hangs in the balance.
Yep.
Where are we going to go in book number 2? I don't even know how to process this book. Like, easy 5 stars. Like, there's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
It was great. Like, the pacing was fantastic. There was no part of this book where I felt like it dragged. The characters were all, like, well developed, and I liked how there was only, like, the 4 main characters. Like, she did not, like, overload us with all of these characters, like some other books in her series.
Yeah, nothing against those of you who like the other reading order, but I fully stand behind my decision to read this book first.
Yeah.
Fully 100% stand behind it.
I get that. Yeah.
I'm curious if you're going to agree with me after you read it.
Dun dun dun. Book number... we're reading it as book number 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so just one more book, and then we'll see how I feel about it. I have a feeling that I'm going to think the same. I'm a big fan, regardless of what book series it is, of reading it in the order that it was published. I've always felt that is the way it's wrote, so that should be the way that it's read.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see after this one.
So before our next episode, please make sure that you read all of the first book of Throne of Glass, because we'll be doing our final review of the first book.
And with that, our Coven summoning comes to a close. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
And follow Caffeine and Conjuring on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date on our journey through Throne of Glass.